And, Will, it's now less than an hour until all those federally controlled DEI offices will be closed. They'll at least be empty because all of the workers are going to be placed on paid leave, and all of their websites and social media pages have to be, by 5 o'clock tonight, taken offline. And President Trump is explaining his issue with all of this in the executive order. He writes in part, these illegal DEI and DEIA policies also threaten the safety of American men, women, and children across the nation by diminishing the importance of individual merit, aptitude, hard work, and determination when selecting people for jobs and services in key sectors of American society, including all levels of government and the medical, aviation, and law enforcement communities. The prior administration shelled out $16 million taxpayer dollars worth of diversity training in 2023 alone. We don't know what the Trump team plans to do with the millions that had been set aside for these DEI priorities. Something else that is happening, the only Trump cabinet member to be confirmed so far sent a note to everybody that works for the State Department, that is the Secretary of State, the new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and he is instructing all U.S. outposts around the world, there are hundreds, that they can no longer fly things like the BLM flag or the Pride flag there. They can only fly American flags. Will?
Incredible, Peter. Help me understand or get some sense of expectation of the visuals a little bit later today. Will there be employees walking out with boxes, having cleaned out their offices, former DEI employees walking out of federal buildings?
Yeah, somebody's got to go and turn off the lights and lock the door. And so I don't think that it's going to be something that's happening in mass because these are not all huge offices, but they did have a huge impact, as the president describes, on hiring practices and on staffing with the federal government. And this isn't something that applies to private businesses, at least not yet. We will see if President Trump tries to put forth something that would be more of a blanket law for all employees in the country. Right now, it just applies to the people that he can directly control, and that would be federal workers.
I got to ask you about Monday night, Peter. That must have been fun. That 60-minute freewheeling Q&A session from the Oval Office as President Trump signed executive orders. It pulled my attention away from Ohio State, Notre Dame. But you were in the room directing him to the letter left to him by Joe Biden. This has to have felt incredibly different, Peter, from the way you were doing your work for the last 4 years under Biden.
Yeah, and I didn't really cover the first Trump administration, so all that I knew was the Biden way of doing things, where you go into the Oval Office and you have a staffer that they call a wrangler, because they basically just wrangle members of the press and photographers around. A wrangler yelling in my face, "Okay, thank you, press, thank you, no questions." And the president, you look over at the chair next to the fireplace or at the desk, and he's just smiling, just trying to pretend like he can't hear us until we're all gone. So it's totally different, and something remarkable, history-making that this president did today. So on Monday night, just out of complete curiosity, I asked him about this Biden letter, and he did a big dramatic reveal. He opened the desk drawer, didn't take it out right away, just maximum suspense. Today, this afternoon, I had a chance to read the letter. I think I'm one of the only people that has not been elected president that has actually held this letter in their hands. And it was, as advertised yesterday by the president, it was an inspirational message, but short. And President Biden, I can report, has very hard to read cursive handwriting.
Yeah, well, that's understandable at 80 some odd years of age. I did think the letter that you revealed earlier today was classy from former President Biden. I thought it was an incredible display of confidence from President Trump to take any and all questions and think out loud the answers as you fired away on Monday. I can't wait to see the work you do over the next 4 years. And hopefully you'll do it right here as well on The Will Cain Show. Thank you, Peter.